Hi everyone, Greenwoods4727 here. This is another little public services announcement. Now, on one of my last videos I had a comment about me clearing my throat. I honestly didn't realise I was doing it, but I've taken that criticism on board, and I've got a hot drink and I've got some mints. That should help the noises, right? So I'm always up for constructive criticism. Just try and be nice and polite about it, and yeah, if I think it's a valid, I'll try and change and make it better for you. Now, the other part is, a lot of people have been asking, where do we get our numbers from? I'm only a small scam baiter. I mean, I know I'm small. I do have a few followers, and that's great. But I'm just a tiny. I'm not like the other ones who are larger. But this is how I personally get all my numbers. I watch a lot of YouTube videos about scam baiting, and I find the numbers there. That's one stream of information. Then you also get people like Arakot, Ciora, Nigella Blum. They can give you extra number information on your videos, which that helps a lot. The other way I find is to fill in fake surveys. Now, the filling in fake surveys is the same way you get some of the pop-ups, and that's by mistyping certain websites like YouTube. Right? We all know how to spell YouTube, right? But if we type in YouTube with a V, but it's next to the B on the keyboard, and press enter, it comes up with adverts. Now, this is a recent one. It's from doc to PDF. My advice is, don't download any of these. At best, they do nothing. At worst, they actually contain malware or spyware. We don't really want that. Right? So, that's that one. So, we go back and try it again. Depending on the amount of money people have paid for this advert, it's on a list. So the more money you pay, the higher up the list, the more often that advert will appear. So that was twice the same one. If we now go to youtube.com, now it may be the same advert, yes, but it may be something completely different. So I generally try it a couple of times before going on to another. These adverts change all the time. YouTube, YOO tube. See, web surveys. This is the second way I get, well, I get a lot of phone calls and emails from scammers. I generally use my Euroscanner email address, one created just for this purpose. I have two others I use. Now, if you look at the spam folder, you'll see I've got 1,622. Now, a lot of these are just rubbish adverts. Some are scams like this. The time window is closing. nothing there because I've blocked it, but display images below. Now this will take you to a link so it's called Mum Big No Brain. Now that takes you to an advert which takes you to this one, quotes FHRA. Now some of them are slightly more legitimate than others. Now, that's the easiest way I can say it, but generally most of them are scams, spam. So now, because I've joined up to some of these surveys, I'm just going to fill anything. So I'm female, no, I do all the bottom ones. It doesn't really matter what you put, because it always comes up with the same thing. There we are. Now these are the same adverts if you click all the positive options, as the scammers say. So if you click this, it will take you to a website which will take you to another website, and it keeps going on until it finds a pop-up advert, or as you can see it's opening up a lot. Right, there you are. I mean 6 sites minimum until it got to one that, and just leave, and you just click the next one and the chances are it'll go to a different set of websites. That's how you get a lot of the pop-up scams. Now this one is a good one. Why? Well, because it asks for your name, address, zip code, city, state, phone number and email. Now some of these survey companies, they are actually run by the scammers themselves to harvest phone numbers and emails, so they contact you, or they sell the information on to other people. So this, if I fill in my phone number, there is a chance that it will be sold to a scammer company who will then contact me. Not all survey sites are illegitimate. Some are, but the information can still be sold. That's how I get a lot of my calls to me from scammers. I fill in these surveys and put in my fake phone number or a number that they can contact me on. I've got a disposable SIM card that I use for a lot of scammers, and I know that whoever calls me on that phone has got my details from a survey site. That's how I do it. It's just a way of gathering the information, which it can take a hell of a long time just to get a couple of numbers. That's just basic. So we've looked at one of the adverts, so we go to YouTube. Now this could come up the same advert, free from park, and it does. The one I find most at the moment is twitter.com. Ads predictive. Then it goes to this one. It says please wait. I don't know what's happening. One thing you can do is you can actually view page source. That gives you a lot of information about that website if it runs. So say YouTube, not doing it. Oh well. So YouTube. Here we are. See? It's the same one. So this time I'm going to click all the top ones. So I'm clicking all the top ones. And here we are. It's the same thing. So we just click and redirect driver. Here we are. Can you see lots of, and it's ended up at the same one. So basically that's it. That's how I gather numbers. You don't generally see how to gather all the numbers because it's not very exciting, but it has to be done. I mean, you can generally tell which is a scam and which isn't. And most of these have actually been gotten by signing up to these fake survey sites. So it's a circle. Let's see. Like this, it says debt advice people. I mean, look at the email address. The prize is at app.tropica.com. It's obviously not a legitimate. So basically that's how I do it. You can watch other YouTube videos and get numbers from them. Scammerinfo, the site. Scammer Revolts has a list of active and semi-active and questionable numbers. There is a lot of information out there. It's you finding the right ones. So I just thought I'd let you know how I do it, so you can try yourself. The other thing is I need to put another warning. Always, and I mean always, make sure your computer is protected with a VPN, virtual private network, which spoofs your IP address. That is essential. Virus checker, firewall, and Malwarebytes. You cannot be too secure. So I have all those running on my main computer, but the virtual machine is separate. I know there's a lot of new scam baiters out there, and welcome. We need more of you, but your prime concern must be your own protection. Don't give out your phone number unless you have, like mine, a disposable SIM card, so you can just swap it out and there's no trace of where you are. It does sound paranoid when you say it, but your own safety is the prime concern that you should have when you do scam baiting. Make sure there's no information on your computer that will track back to you. I add a few bits of information about my personal to give a bit of authenticity, but most of it is made up. So hopefully this will help new people or just people who are interested in getting these numbers. Okay, catch you later.